Okay.
All right.
Hello, good morning. We're cracking ourselves up. Jen is making fun of
It doesn't take much.
doesn't take much. I always say go big or go home, right? Like you like caffeine?
I've got mine right here.
Check it out.
Go.
And
We're fully
please,
caffeinated.
as you're coming in, we welcome you. We don't see anybody in the chat as of yet, but we are here for some fire because it's Wednesday. And so I wanted to put this in the prompt so that you would recall our little like head to head where we're coming from. And so please, Jen, introduce yourself.
Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Jen Lafine. I am a goals success mentor for people who like to set goals and meet them. I specialize in helping people become accountable to doing what they say they're going to do and to helping you navigate the discomfort of doing hard things. And Lauren and I think, well, Lauren, are you going to introduce yourself?
Double click on this because I love it when you say you go from goal setters to goal getters.
Yes, I help goal setters become goal getters.
And that is so huge because why set them?
Right?
if you have no intention of getting them.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But we know that doing hard things is hard. And if you don't have the right mindset and the right action plan, which are two things we're going to talk about today, it's virtually impossible to reach those hard goals because the discomfort that you feel when you start to do the work can derail you super quick. So
fast. And so for anybody that doesn't know me, yay, hi Niraj. For anyone that doesn't know me, I am Lauren Greif. Do not say grief because that is everything I don't want to impart. And I'm the founder of Portfolio Rocket. It's a career consultancy on a mission to elevate, accelerate, and celebrate one executive at a time by ending career victimization. So that's why we're here, because these two things work in partnership, but where we're kind of questioning the query on the table right now is, well, which one comes first, right? Like, do I need the right mindset in order to take the right action, or should I just start with the action step and then, the mindset piece will come? So I'm raising my hand because I'm going to be talking about the action as the first step, and Jen is going to present her POV on the mindset. So the reason why we're also having this conversation is because we hear it both ways. And people who are in the chat, please, let us know, goodness gracious, where does that land for you? What is your process when you are going through something big? Maybe it's like, should I explore this new career direction? Should I wait until I have the right mindset before I do a TED Talk? Where does this all shake out for you? So Jen, please give us your thoughts as the mindset initiator here in this conversation. Why do you believe that mindset must come first?
Well, before I say that, I want to just start with how we even came to this LinkedIn Live, which was, I think, back in December, you had made a post about the importance of taking action. And I left a comment saying, but wait, you won't take action until you have a thought that pushes you towards action. And so we kind of sparred a little bit in the comments, and I said, let's take it to a LinkedIn Live. So that's kind of where we're at today. And you've already stated that this is almost like a chicken and the egg kind of situation.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Because you cannot reach a goal if you don't have the thoughts that support you, but also if you don't take action. One alone is never going to help you get to whatever success you're looking for. Okay. I believe that thoughts are the foundation of every single result that we get in life. because we cannot get a result unless we have a thought that takes us there. And there's a simple process that you follow, which is very, very subconscious. We don't even realize that it's happening, but it goes like this. We start with a thought, and that thought generates a feeling for us in our body. The feeling is what moves us to take action or inaction, because sometimes that thought is not very encouraging. And so we are in a state of inaction. And depending on the actions or inactions that we take, we get the result. Okay.
So I think that we got Niraj like in full agreement. I plan with my mobile and all technology turned off. I think more clearly with a pen and a notepad. Get your mind. I know that there's another comment that came in, and it's hard to see, so forgive me if I'm not shouting it out. But for everyone who's welcome, please chime in. So it starts with this germ, someplace, somehow, right? And then there's that cascading effect. So now I'm going to ask you this question. I'm not going to counter this, but I just want to understand, like, when does that idea convert to overthinking?
Convert to overthinking?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a really great question, because we do have a lot of overthinking, especially when it comes to goals. So I would say it converts to overthinking when the thought is not fine-tuned enough and it is creating that feeling, that emotion of uncertainty. And so you stay stuck in thinking, because somewhere in there, the thoughts that you're choosing are not the ones that are going to move you forward.
Okay, so when someone says, well, I can't do this because I need to wait until I get into the right mindset, what happens? What's the challenge, or what's the accountability that says, okay, like, when are you ever going to get into the right mindset? Like, how long is this going to take?
It takes a decision. It takes a decision, which is a thought, right? Like, a decision is a thought of, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to see what happens. But a lot of times people who get stuck in that overthinking stage never get to that thought. They are, and the thing is that so much of this is subconscious that we don't even realize that it's going on. And especially if it's an overthinking habit that we've had for much of our life, it feels very normal to you to sit and buffer in that overthinking stage, or in confusion, or because I also hear, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So,
okay, so what's the antidote to I don't know what to do? So if you hear yourself in the talk track spiral of I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I just don't know, then what?
Then you make a decision to sit down and figure it out. That's where the thought switches over of, I'm going to sit down and figure it out. And then you take the action of sitting down, because that's honestly is what I do with my clients. Is if they come and they say, I really want to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it. Well, first of all, that's a thought you're believing to be a fact. And is it a fact? It's not. You can sit down and figure it out. And so we just sit down and we brainstorm a list of possible steps. Decide.
But what if somebody doesn't have the wonderful Jen Lafine in their life? Then what?
Well, they should get me in their life.
Yes, exactly.
The other thing is too, is like, we live in this wonderful world of technology. We can ask my friends Google and Siri and ChatGPT, and they will give you options. But again, you have to want to find the answers, because as long as you're sitting and you're spinning in this state of, I don't know what to do, of confusion, you're never going to find the answer, because that's comfortable to you. Like, I talk a lot about staying in our comfort cave.
I gotta put you on pause.
Okay.
Charity Hughes, thank you. Yes, it's complicated. It's complicated and it's difficult. Yes, as Jen says, the thoughts create the feelings. So ideally you want to start with a great mindset, but most people aren't there. And those feelings can be either rocket fuel or the death of action. When you're stuck in negative self-doubt, self-doubt, action can be the dynamite that blows the log jam apart and allows forward motion. Oh, I knew you were my girl.
Yes.
So
very good, Charity.
You were talking about the comfort cave. I just want to circle back to that for a minute. So
yes, we do.
The comfort cave, and that's also, is that code for like, I need to get into the right mindset, a placeholder or a hall pass for I just don't want to take action?
For staying in the comfort cave? Yes. Because even though we may feel like a discomfort because we're not doing what it is that we think we need to do or want to do, that discomfort is known, and your brain craves familiarity. And so it wants to keep you there. So it will tell you that you don't know what to do. And if you believe it and you don't take steps to actually try to figure it out, that's where you're going to stay.
Okay. Anything else before I take some action?
I want you to take some action.
Okay. So I come from a different school, and I come from the school of cliff jumpers, as we talked about before, which means that I believe that you can act your way into right thinking, but you can't think your way into right action. So in other words, when you take that action, everything changes. And why I have seen this and I know this is because the action builds a lot of momentum. Like I did this, and then that whole entire magnetic field of all these other things just seems to fall into place. But like everything else, we like to sit on the edge or look at the water before we dive in. We need some people need a lot more research and like my husband, he likes to read all the reviews. He likes to know everything before he makes a decision. By that time, I already have the chair in my office and I'm sitting on it. Like I'm just like, it's not that I'm impulsive either. So I can, I say this because this doesn't mean you should throw all caution to the wind and, forget your parachute. It means gather enough information. Don't be blind about it, but also just take some action. Some action. Make your bed, empty a dishwasher, some action to move the clogs of thinking that you need something else before you take the action. And I think that that's also my real kind of vote here or promotion is for great habits. Because I'll tell you, I am never in the right mindset to do a workout. I am never in the right mindset that says, yeah, time to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Can't wait for that one. Never. I've never done that. But after I go through that workout, I'm like, man, I'm unstoppable. So I use these things as a way to kind of like kickstart better mindset, better thinking, and also a string of consistency. So I actually, thanks to one of my clients, put this new app on my phone. We were both talking about it called Streaks, and that's going to help me to stay in action. I'm not even going to think about it because as we talked about, you and I, Jen, and our group last week, Jerry Seinfeld's "Don't Break the Chain," which is, just keep going, is not about a thinking plan. It's about an action plan.
It is. So I have a question for you about that, because we just had New Year's and we have lots of people setting resolutions and New Year's goals. And it's something like 42% of people have stopped working on their New Year's resolutions and New Year's goals by the end of January.
Already now, right?
Right. So how, from my standpoint, somewhere along the line, a thought snuck in that derailed their momentum. And then it just takes one time, and then it becomes two times. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, why bother? I'll try again next year. So how do you feel about, like, how do you respond to that in regards to action steps?
So the actions are, I mean, in full fighting fairness practices here, at some point you're going to have, an idea, a brain fart, right? And what we're talking about is mindset, not idea. Mm-hmm. So I know that those two things are not disconnected, but we're talking not just about the idea popping up into your head. So I just want to distinguish that. So a New Year's resolution starts with an idea, and then I would advocate for, okay, now you have this idea, let's jump into the action, mm-hmm. right? You have this idea, obviously it's there, and clearly we process millions and millions and millions of ideas. If that idea keeps showing up 3 or 4 different times, there's something to it. Absolutely. Right? Especially, and I know this for so many of the clients that we work with, it's been getting louder and louder and louder over the years, every performance review, the last time you got let go. And now it's like, oh my gosh, maybe it's that time to actually jump into action, not necessarily jump into more investing in the thinking or the mindset piece.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what is your antidote to procrastination then?
Take a step, one step. Just take a step, one step. Take a step, one step. Build in some kind of reward system. I don't care what that is. It's coffee with a friend. It's binge watching Fleabag, which I'm all about right now. It's, something. It's something. And use that as a way to start not breaking the chain.
Excellent. Excellent. Because that is something that we both encounter a lot in the work that we do, is people who are in a procrastination habit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, very, very important.
So I want to go back to this mindset thing, because it's such a squishy topic, right? What is the mindset that we quote unquote either need, or what's underneath this umbrella that says, now I'm in the right mindset? What does right mean? What are the components that give you, let's just say, the permission to say, time to bust a move, I'm in the right mindset?
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And if you're not familiar, just a general definition of the two, fixed mindset is more along the lines of our abilities are fixed at birth and will never change, versus growth mindset talks about taking action, doing things, trying things, knowing that with the right amount of energy behind doing these things, that growth is growth is inevitable, right?
Right.
So, like, for instance, I used to be a teacher, and parent-teacher conferences were always an interesting time, because when we would sit down and talk about their child and my student and talk about, for instance, math, because that was something that always came up. A fixed mindset, a parent would say, if a child was struggling in math, oh, everybody in our family struggles with math. Okay, so that's why little Johnny can't do
genetic.
Doesn't know his.
In part it is, because I suck at math.
That's a thought, Lauren.
And I have no desire to take any action on it.
So, and growth mindset is acknowledging, like, yeah, this is hard, but I can put effort into this and I can figure it out.
All right. I just want to call out the other Lauren in the room right now. I'm Team Lauren here.
All right.
You both offer compelling thoughts. You do one thing, then you do the next and the next thing, and so on. It creates momentum to reach your goals. Just keep swimming, is Dory. I'm going to say, I don't know if that's Dory Clark or Dory the fish from. But either way, thanks, Lauren, for that. And I'm kind of big time with you. So fixed and growth mindset. This also was seeded by the great Carol Dweck. If you are familiar with her book, it's called Mindset. This really is the kind of quintessential book to dive deep, no pun intended for Dory, dive deep into the whole idea around mindset. And this is also, I want to just call it out because my gray hair doesn't lie, right? Like, I'm no green banana. The truth is that as we get older, we run into the propensity to be a little bit more fixed in our ways. And so as we get older, there's a greater need to not just be relevant, right? Like top of mind and, know the latest and greatest technology, but also find new ways to do things. I actually posted about this yesterday using my landline phone. And, one of the things that really makes people feel alive is staying current. So challenge yourself with some new actions, and it's a huge invigorator. As many of you know, I've just started boxing, so I've got the jamming spirit right now. Hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
I saw you from both sides of this. We can lose sight of the fact that our brain will tell us often false stories that will keep us in our comfort cave. I agree that action can be the catalyst to break through. That said, we need to adopt productive mindsets, which support the action side of this equation for days when motivation will lag. So we need both. And one thing I know about Brad is that this guy is like at Orange Theory? I was going to call it Orange Crush, but that too. Orange Theory, like all the time. This guy is like setting records, breaking goals, and he is on an action habit for a long.
That's fantastic. Nice job, Brad. So I have a little personal story, if you don't mind me sharing. I have a hate relationship with exercise. So there is my fixed mindset. I will reveal it right away. Like, I hate exercise. I'm terrible at it. And I've always been. So I'm arguing for my limitations, right?
I gotta take the elbow out of my ear. Did I just hear you say I'm bad at it? I suck at it.
But I know it's important. And I want to try, one of my goals this year is to treat my body, mind, spirit, and wallet with more respect. So I decided I was going to join the YMCA. And I joined the YMCA back in November, and I never went. Right? And so December came around, and I was like, am I wasting my money here? Like, maybe I should just go cancel. And I had the thought, or you could go. So I started going to the gym in towards the end of December when all the holidays kind of settled down. And I thought to myself, well, what can I do at the gym that's not actually exercise? I was going to try to trick myself into it. They have a beautiful pool there. So I said, I'm going to start doing water walking because they have like a current channel. So I go in and
cool.
I walk for a half hour against the current, and it's fantastic. And so my goal is to do a little bit of this every day. Last Friday came, and I decided I had an appointment in the morning, and I said, I will go in the afternoon. I'll go at 2:30. The pool will be quieter then. There won't be anybody else there. I can get in, get out, be done. So I finished all my work, and I was really tired because I hadn't slept well the night before. And so I decided I was going to lay down on the sofa and take a rest. See where this is going? So I got my nice snuggly blanket, and the puppies are all cuddled in, and I'm just loving it. I wake up 2 hours later. It is 2:00. I look outside. It is raining. And I said to myself, I'm just not going to go today.
Did you go the next day?
Wait a minute. I heard this thought in my head as clear as if someone was standing right next to me saying it. This is where it ends. And I thought to myself, this is where I give up on myself and my exercise habit again. And then I thought, no, this is where I stop giving up on myself. So I got my bathing suit on because I said I was going to go to the gym. I didn't say I was going to spend an hour there. All I have to do is like get there, go in the water, and I can get out. That's all I have to do. And I did. I ended up staying for actually an hour. It was great. I'm glad I went. But if I had quit on myself then, I would have emptied out my whole self-trust bank. I would have broken that habit. I would have ended that momentum streak. And I think like the point of telling this story is that we need to be aware of that perfectionist thinking that a lot of us have around our goals that interfere with the actions, because if we can't do it perfectly, we're not going to do it at all.
Right.
So if you do,
I want to ask you this question: between where you were and where you were, like cuddly blanket, puppies, and then when you came home, what was the difference in your mindset?
Oh, like you said, I was unstoppable.
Right.
I'm
right.
Like, oh, look at me. Like I did it. Yay.
Like, and you don't like need a parade. You just feel good.
I felt great.
You just feel like $1,000,000. Yeah. And so that's part of what I also love when you talk about the trust bank.
Yeah.
And the trust bank is like a real deal thing. And you remember back in the day, I remember this, my parents would say, well, you know, if you don't try hard, you're only lying to yourself. And I would be like, like, and like, okay, like that's not such a big deal. It is a big deal.
It is a very big deal.
It is a big deal because once you start making those shortcuts and those like reasons why, it also has the same cascading effect as the opposite direction. It's like we can go in either place. And so I also want to just say that what I have come to understand over and over in both professional and personal situations is when the GOD, not the God necessarily, I use that as an acronym for the gift of desperation shows up, there's not a lot of work on mindset. You're just like out of the gate. So oftentimes we got to be really, 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 really miserable. And sometimes it's actually too late before we take that action. You hear stories after stories of people whose health was dramatically compromised from burnout, from things that were in excess, smoking, drinking, whatever that is. And then they're like, wake up call, like, I don't have a choice anymore. And so, you know, if you are feeling like you're at the gift of desperation, congratulations, because that road up is going to get you where you've been wanting to go for a really long time.
Yes.
I have said before that all the outcomes you're seeking are in the work you're avoiding. So like there's a really awesome opportunity in that gift, and hence the gift of desperation.
You got it. Yeah.
What are your parting words? We've got about 2 minutes left, and also another great quote from Brad. There will always, I'm like hyperbolically exaggerating, always been an excuse not to go to the gym. Going to the gym is hard. So being respectful of your healthy body in the long run, choose your heart. I like that.
That's great.
I like that. We're stealing that, Brad. Jen, well done for taking a stand. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like those are the times where you call it the trust bank, and they definitely are. I also refer to that is where that self-respect and dignity are constantly reinvested, right? Like you feel good. You felt good. Like you feel good about yourself. And we all really like thrive on that. Like, you know, break your own bed and yourself on the back. Nothing.
Absolutely.
If you need an extra arm, give me a ring. I mean, for real. So your parting words. I want to make sure that we leave this with some great mindset and maybe even some action tips.
Yeah. Well, I would just like to say, just to remind everybody again, you can't have one without the other if you want to reach your goals. If you want to do these big things in life, you need to have the right mindset. You need to watch for those sneaky little thoughts of doubt that are coming in and trying to derail you. You can doubt any doubt that comes your way. It does not have to be your truth.
Right. Because what do you say? Doubt your doubt.
Doubt your doubt.
Doubt your doubt. That's like one of my favorite. I just wrote about that pat on the back today. Conversation. Hi, Oz. So yes. So yours is you need both, right? You need both, and watch for your comfort cave. I mean, we actually need like some kind of signal or whatever, like there is like when the pedestrians are crossing, we need like a signal that says, danger, you've been in your comfort cave for too long.
Well, and this is the advantage of working with someone like you or me who is saying, enough, let's go. Because we live in our own heads. We think it's all normal. We've been listening to that forever. And we don't know that it's not, we'll continue to give ourselves that break. So how about you? What are your parting words, Lauren?
My parting thought is pick one. Pick one action that aligns with whatever that thing is that you want to get to. Yours was putting your bathing suit on.
Yes.
Because you're probably not going to be walking around your house out there in cold Wisconsin, like in your bathing suit, unless you're actually going out the door. Right. So pick one and then don't bail on it.
Yes.
So
for sure.
That's the thing. I mean, I've played these games with myself so many times, literally 1,000,000 times. I say, I don't feel like emptying the dishwasher. And I say, oh, just one cup.
Yeah. What's my next best step? It's done. Just do one thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I also like in tandem with that, and I know you talk about this too, because sometimes we can over index on like getting so reinvested in the mindset and the feelings and the feelings and the feelings and the feelings. Sorry, your feelings are not facts. They feel that way, but they are also transient. They will change. And just in the example that you shared so graciously about you didn't feel like going to the gym. I never feel like it either, but I feel great when it's done. So everyone, thank you for this Wednesday fire. Thanks for engaging in our chicken and egg conversation. And please, if you aren't already, make sure that you are following Jen Lafine. She is a treasure in every single way. And every Monday, I also call myself out on my own accountability, which is to identify my kind of 3 things and at maximum 2 that I'm just going to get done and done. Thank you. I'll see you all around the LinkedIn. And also don't forget to check out Jen's podcast, The Flight School, and my podcast, Career Blast and a Half.
You got it. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.